We are marooned. Food is plentiful, there is game, but no vegetables or fresh fruit here. But as at home, we start each day with bird's appeal from the ship's store. Delicious. 1 4-ounce glass supplies all our daily need for vitamin C. The children are on top of the world. We are in no danger. But if you could rescue us before bird's appeal runs out.
Families everywhere enjoy the goodness of bird's appeal.
Having a lovely time. Arthur says the view of the front is quite breathtaking. I feel like a new woman, and Arthur says he does too. I must say, this sea air has certainly given him an appetite. Steak and chips, cheese on toast, veal and ham pie, pasties, commies, he's had the lot. All with HP sauce, of course. I always bring the HP. Well, you know how Arthur likes a bit on the side.
HP, you've got to admire their sauce.
I can't go to the party, said the little Cadbury's button. I've got nothing to wear. All the other sweets have got fancy wrappers to go in. Nonsense, said her mother. You don't need to gild the lily. You're made purely from dairy milk chocolate. Small and soft for little mouths. You don't want to hide that, do you? No, Mummy, said the little button. But who's Lily?
Chocolate begins with buttons.
A busy day doesn't have to be hard on your feet. Not if you're wearing Scholl air pillow insoles. Soft foam helps take the weight off your feet. Little holes let them breathe. And they'll fit inside men's or women's shoes. Put the spring back in your step. Put Scholl in your shoes. Air pillow insoles from Scholl.
Polymer sealants are the breakthrough in car care. Now, after 5 years of research, Turtle Wax announces Formula 3 polymer sealant. There is no tougher protection. It creates a hard and flexible shell which actually bonds to your paintwork and lasts and lasts. So the shine goes on. There is no tougher protection for your car. New from Turtle Wax, Formula 3 polymer sealant.
Now's the time to change that old cooker for a beautiful new one from your gas showroom and save from £10 to £60.
Cookability. It's spring fever from gas.
Don't miss the MFI sale. More at half price than ever before. Open holiday Monday, 10 till 6.
Rosy and red, she's got me walking on the tip of my toes, and my hat's on the side of my head.
On Monday evening, our special holiday programmes include another all-action movie when Robert Shaw stars in Diamonds.
Did you really think you could break open my safe?
There's no safe I can't break open.
Perhaps. But my brother built this one. And my brother is a genius.
Building a new system for the Diamond Center?
Oh, yes, a very interesting one. I'll show you it when it's finished.
What is that?
One of the largest repositories of cut diamonds in the whole world. $100 million of them.
What can I do for you?
Well, we have reason to believe this place is being robbed this very moment.
Are you kidding or something?
Hey, Charlie! There must be 10 million here!
And the robbery of a lifetime is planned for our holiday Monday movie, Diamonds, at 8 o'clock.
You can splash it, you can sip it, you can share it, you can mix it. Bonnet red. Bonnet red.
Tried the red yet?
Bonnet red.
Most accidents occur on suburban roads because you're much more likely to meet the unexpected, the unpredictable child, the sudden cyclist, the loose dog, people in too much of a hurry. Your anticipation, your brakes and your tires are all that can help. And as far as I'm concerned, in the 2 years I've been telling you about the Goodyear Grand Prix S, nobody has yet built a safer tire. I'm convinced the Goodyear Grand Prix S is a major contribution to road safety.
Tony Beretta is back with us tonight on the trail of a professional killer.
You want a beer? Hey, Harrigan, bring the boss a beer.
No, we're gonna cancel your day off. You better cancel a beer, too, Harrigan.
What's the matter?
We got a soldier in the jungle.
What do I care?
Well, I would like you to go out on the street and see if you can find out who he is, where he came from, and who he thinks he's gonna hit while he's in town.
It ain't gonna be easy, Johnny. I wouldn't want to be in your shoes. 25 G's.
You buried him.
Ain't you gonna count it?
I need to.
I guess nobody'd try to shortchange you. Would they, Johnny?
You know, I'm looking all over town for you. You make me look bad, you finding me. How come?
We got a game to play.
Oh, yeah?
Leg for break. You happy at work?
Yeah, sure. I don't know. You know, I wanted to be a cop. I'm a cop.
I see what you're saying. One half the cop, the other half the wise guy, huh? One half dying to ask me the name. The other half...
I'm gonna stop you, John. I'm gonna stop you.
Now they make up your mind, huh? Now you know who you really are.
Yeah, I know who I am. What's his name, John? Who's gonna fall?
I don't want to talk about it.
But no doubt there's lots more to be said in tonight's crime thriller with Beretta at 11:20 here on STV.
Irish plane hijacked over London. Former Trappist monk holds 100 passengers hostage. Billie Jean fights money demand from woman lover. Aston Villa lose the match but win the championship. Good evening. An Irish plane hijacked over London with more than 100 people on board is still sitting on the tarmac at Le Touquet in northern France after 9 hours. 5 women and 6 children have been freed. A French anti-terrorist team wearing bulletproof jackets and carrying fire extinguishers and ladders have surrounded the plane. First reports suggested that the lone hijacker was an Iranian. It's now clear that he's a former Trappist monk named Lawrence James Downey, an Australian who's been living in the Limerick area of the Irish Republic. His motives for the hijack are religious rather than political. The first sign that anything was wrong on Aer Lingus Flight 164 from Dublin to London came as the pilot and his crew were preparing to land at Heathrow just before 1:45 this afternoon. The hijacker burst into the cockpit and ordered the captain to fly to Tehran. The Heathrow control tower advised him to make first for the French coast for refueling at Le Touquet. John Underwood is there.
When it landed, the Aer Lingus Boeing taxied to a small apron on the perimeter of Le Touquet Airport. The local authorities who've taken control of the security operation acted swiftly to close the airport itself and local airspace. While daylight continued, armed riot police kept well away from the plane. As for the hijacker, Lawrence Downey, he continued to pace the aircraft, occasionally pouring petrol onto his robes, in an attempt to make it clear that if his demands were not met, he was prepared to die along with his hostages. It's feared he may also have a bomb in a suitcase. Negotiations with the hijacker have been suspended as French officials await the arrival of an Irish minister. But tonight, as darkness fell, the French Special Intervention Squad approached the plane armed with automatic weapons, grenades and ladders. But it's thought one of them was spotted by the hijacker and the squad drew back. John Underwood, ITN, at Le Touquet Airport.
A few hours after the plane arrived at Le Touquet, 5 of the women passengers were set free with their young children. They seemed unharmed after their experience, but they all talked about the nervousness of the hijacker. In Dublin, the Irish Prime Minister, Mr. Haughey, called an emergency cabinet meeting to discuss how they should react to the hijackers' demands. The Dublin newspaper, the Sunday Independent, has already volunteered to print a statement from Mr. Downey on the third secret of Fatima. More on that in a moment. After the cabinet meeting, the Irish Transport Minister left for Le Touquet.
It's an odd situation, but with some 100 lives at stake, everything is being done to lessen the risks. So this afternoon, Transport Minister Albert Reynolds himself hurried across the apron here at Dublin Airport to join a special flight direct to Le Touquet, still not knowing too much what it was all about. Has he made any demands apart from wanting to go to Tehran?
The publication of the third secret of Fatima.
What on earth is that?
It's religious writing. It's a religious secret. It's not for me to say what it is.
You're confident there's no political intent in this
Absolutely.
hijacking?
No question of it whatsoever.
And with him on this plane, a number of company officials and a fresh crew, because one of the things that they think that they might have to do is to transfer the hostages and the hijacker to this long-range Boeing 737, which is a range of some 2,200 miles, and if necessary, that's the plane that will make the hop all the way to Tehran if it's needed. Desmond Hamill, ITN in Dublin.
The hijackers' main demand concerns the third secret of Fatima, which is a reference to a document given to the Pope in the 30s relating to an apparition by the Virgin Mary at the Portuguese village of Fatima in 1917. 3 shepherd children living there had 6 visions of the Virgin, and as a result, Fatima became one of the Catholic Church's best-known shrines. Pope Paul VI worshipped there in 1967, and it attracts 1 million pilgrims every year. The Virgin is said to have given the children 3 secrets. The first forecast the Second World War. The second warned that Russia would scatter her errors throughout the world. The third prophecy was given to the Vatican to be kept secret until 1960. The Pope opened it, but never revealed what it was. Supporters of the IRA hunger striker, Mr. Bobby Sands MP, say his condition continues to get worse. The 3 other hunger strikers at the Maze prison are also much weaker. With all security services on full alert, the Northern Ireland Secretary, Mr. Atkins, had fresh talks today with police and army chiefs. He said they were prepared to protect the whole community against violence from whatever quarter.
Mr. Atkins felt the people of Northern Ireland needed reassurances that the army and police were adequate to deal with any trouble that may arise as a result of the hunger strike. And after meeting with security forces chiefs this morning, that was the message he delivered to the Lord Mayor of Belfast, John Carson. Mr. Atkins also said that the government have certain contingency plans to safeguard essential services. But Mr. Carson thinks the situation here is now less gloomy.
I think the community has accepted that there's sufficient security available to look after the people. There has been a lot of tension in Northern Ireland and indeed Belfast for the past number of days, and that seemed to have receded in some measure, and we're very thankful for that. I think the fact is that people are beginning to realise that the fear that was being spread abroad and the intimidation and the difficulties that they're living under for the past number of weeks, then there is adequate provision made to deal with those problems and to give the people the protection they need.
The sight of Catholic children playing on an army vehicle gives weight to Mr. Carson's view. The tensions have eased slightly over the last couple of days, but nobody knows what will happen when the hunger strike reaches its climax.
In Liverpool, 7 people were arrested during clashes between 150 supporters of the Irish hunger strikers and 500 counter-demonstrators. 200 police threw a cordon round the pro-hunger strikers when they were attacked by members of a local Protestant Orange Order. The woman who claimed she had a lesbian love affair with tennis player Billie Jean King says she's pleased and relieved that Mrs. King has admitted it. The woman, who's now a cripple after a failed suicide attempt, is suing Mrs. King for a house and financial support. Billie Jean's husband, Larry, has said he still loves her dearly and that their marriage won't be affected by the revelations.
I did have an affair with Marilyn Barnett. It's been over for quite some time, and I'm very disappointed and shocked that Marilyn has done this not only to herself in a very self-destructive way, but to other people who have cared for her. I don't really think I'm going to be able to talk to you very much because of the legalities, but it's very important to me to especially thank Larry, because I love him very much. He's my lover, my husband, and my best friend, has been for 19 years.
Sport and Aston Villa are the new football champions. Widnes have won the Rugby League Cup. Villa took their title despite losing 2-0 to Arsenal because their only challengers, Ipswich, also lost. Our sports correspondent, Tony Francis, starts the day's roundup from the ground at Highbury.
As it happened, today's sellout was irrelevant, which was just as well because Villa didn't look like champions. They were nervous and allowed Arsenal a soft goal in 11 minutes. Willie Young must have been flattered by that one. Would the Aston Villa manager Ron Saunders see the pendulum swing back to Ipswich after all? He must have been a worried man when Arsenal made it 2 on half-time. Somehow Swain, Gibson and Rimmer contrived to let McDermott through for a quite remarkable goal. Well before the end, though, Villa supporters had heard the Ipswich score and nothing else mattered. The inevitable pitch invasion could have been very nasty, but police handled it superbly, keeping rival Arsenal and Aston Villa fans well apart. Shut off from all that, the players were enjoying their own celebration, with champagne, of course. Now that they'd managed it, what was Saunders' recipe for success?
A lot is spoken about ability and flair and all the rest of it, but ability and flair, without being linked with character and the ability to run and the will to run, and a certain amount of organisation in a side, doesn't mean a great deal.
You're not a man who shows his emotions very much, but is this the greatest day of your life?
No, the greatest day of my life was when my eldest boy was born, without a doubt, when I did a few somersaults. I don't know why.
Won't you be doing any today?
I'm bloody past it, aren't I?
Among the other issues settled today, Swansea, who were applying for re-election only 6 years ago, have reached the First Division for the first time in their history. They won 3-1 at Preston and edge out Blackburn on goal difference. Joining Swansea and West Ham in Division 1, Notts County, back there after 55 years. Chris Jamieson saw them win 2-0 at Chelsea.
Chelsea end this season having played 847 minutes of league soccer without scoring a goal. Clive Walker came close, but today belonged to Notts County. 15 minutes gone, and Trevor Christie put the Midlands team ahead. County built upon their early lead, and it was Rashid Harkouk, once a London player himself, who made it certain that First Division soccer would now come to Meadow Lane. Chelsea had obviously wanted promotion for themselves, and what should have been a day to remember was spoilt by their boorish behaviour. They booed County's 2 black players throughout the match and ended up by invading the pitch. Chris Jamieson, ITN Sport, Stamford Bridge.
Rugby at Twickenham, Leicester won the John Player Cup for the 3rd time in succession when they beat Gosforth 22-15. The trophy now becomes their own property. At Wembley, 94,000 of the best-ordered fans in the country saw Widnes turn in one of their most impressive performances to beat Hull Kingston Rovers 18-9 in the Rugby League Challenge Cup final. Ian Edwards was among them.
Mick Burke, the Widnes fullback, began it all with an opportunist try. That perfect start was improved upon by a break from Mick George for the 2nd try. The match became even more one-sided by the 2nd half, when Gregory, the young scrum half, broke through in a brilliant solo effort. And by this time, Widnes were well on their way towards equalling Wigan's record of 6 victories, while Hull were only rarely able to threaten the Widnes line. They gained a consolation try when Casey, their captain, gave the scoring pass to Burton. But it couldn't stop Widnes from celebrating a stylish and deserved victory. Ian Edwards, ITN Sport, Wembley.
The day's big race, the 2,000 guineas at Newmarket, was won by the favourite. The result was Toagori Moo, 5-2 favourite, Mataboy 50-1, and Belbaleed 14-1.
Prince Charles, on his visit to America, was today awarded an honorary degree by the William and Mary College in Williamsburg, Virginia. Earlier in the day, he'd visited the NATO military and naval base at Norfolk.
The Prince of Wales, in his full-dress uniform as Commander of the Royal Navy, inspected the Guard of Honour. This is the only NATO command in the United States, and Britain is the 2nd biggest representative among the 15 NATO nations here. Prince later met privately with families of British servicemen. Afterwards, the Prince helicoptered onto the flight deck of the US nuclear carrier Nimitz, the ship from which America launched the aborted mission to rescue hostages in Iran. He was taken on a tour of the carrier's top-secret installations.
Well, with 100 passengers still held hostage in Latuke, that's the news so far this bank holiday weekend. Have a good night.
Yesterday was the bleakest May Day the Labour Party's known for decades. The party remains locked in the fiercest power struggle it's had for a generation. And some Labour politicians fear that this could mean they'll lose the next general election despite the unpopularity of the Tory government. So is the Labour Party finished as a real political force? Watch Weekend World live tomorrow at noon.
And now tomorrow's weather. All areas will become cloudy by dawn, with rain in western districts spreading across the country by morning. The rain will be rather pronounced and heavy at times, with sleet or snow on hills initially. Western districts may become drier and brighter in the evening. It'll feel a little milder than today, with a moderate or fresh southwesterly wind.
The Talbot dealer's incredible spring sale. If you thought you couldn't afford a new car this year, think again. Think Talbot.
Who always takes the greatest care? We do. Have more services than you're aware. We do.
Who work for you on each and every day?
What, every day? Throughout the UK?
Who always cleans the cleanest clean? We do.
Office or factory or machine?
We do. Who always wants to do what you want us to? Well, we do the way it should be, yes we do.
We're ISC, Initial Service Cleaners. You'll find us in Yellow Pages.
In tomorrow's Sunday Mail, The Secrets of Youth, a medical opinion and how it squares with people's experience. An exclusive interview with Supermex and two great competitions. A chance to win all this Lee Trevino gear and a chance to win this car and caravan. All in tomorrow's Sunday Mail.
If it's going on, it's going in.
Where on earth can you find hundreds of thousands of growing bags at our price of £1.39 each and tomato plants to put in them? Well, where else?
Where else can you get it all? Schwartz it, that's the thing to do. Schwartz it, the finest herbs for you.
For a taste of the world's finest spices, Schwartz it.
80 herbs and spices just to bring your food alive.
The Goodyear Grand Prix S is built to stop you shorter in the rain.
I'm convinced it's a major contribution to road safety.
Beretta has his hands full tonight when a professional killer moves into his area with a contract to eliminate a local gangster. That's a story called Soldier in the Jungle, starting at 11:20.
Hello, good evening, and you join us at the end of a fast and furious climax to the long campaigns in Scotland's 3 senior football divisions. And there's joy tonight in Dundee and Dumfries as Donald Mackay's side go into the Premier League and Queen of the South pip Cowdenbeath at the post to climb out of the 2nd Division. Our programme tonight is about 3 different battles: a bid by Rangers to play in Europe, Ipswich Town's last chance to snatch the English First Division Championship, and Norwich City's backs-to-the-wall stand in the battle against relegation. And all that adds up to 12 goals. There's World Championship boxing from America and an unknown Scot, Murray Sutherland, bidding for Matthew Saad Mohammed's WBC World Light Heavyweight crown. And later on in the programme, details of next week's Cup Final Scotsport, which will be featuring world snooker star Steve Davis and Cliff Thorburn, a chance of a free trip to see the European Cup Final in Paris, Jock Wallace and Andy Gray in the studio, and much, much more besides. But first to this afternoon's action and to Ibrox for the game between Rangers and Hearts. Your commentator is Jock Brown.
So it's a reshuffled Rangers lineup with several surprises. Jim Bett wearing a number 3 jersey, Tommy McLean at number 6, and Willie Johnston returns at outside left, Derek Johnston being left on the bench. But the biggest cheer from the Rangers supporters greeted the announcement that Davy Cooper would play at outside right. Cooper has missed the last 8 league and cup matches apart from a few appearances as a substitute, and now has a real chance for playing in next week's cup final. And Hearts turning out a very young side once again. Only Jim Denny and Walter Kidd have any real experience. A lot of youngsters on the side, among them Gary Mackay at number 7, who's just 17 years old. And the young man has impressed me greatly. There he is, Gary Liddell, the Hearts young centre-forward, came back from a period in England and has impressed very much through the middle. He's only scored 2 goals, both of them the goals which beat Airdrie last week, but a very promising player indeed. So it's Hearts to kick off. Ibrox very sparsely populated for the final league match of the season, a match which Rangers must get something from if they're to guarantee a place in European football next season. And Hearts, of course, will be looking for a result to avoid finishing bottom of the Premier League. So a big cheer to greet the first touch of the ball for Davy Cooper. This is McAdam. Man in the box is Bett. Now Willie Johnston. And that's Jim Denny's tackle, getting the ball behind for the first corner kick of the match. Frank Liddell organising the Hearts defence for Johnston's kick. Stevens is in there, just can't quite reach it, and it's a goal kick to Hearts. Colin Moore, the Hearts centre-back. Free kick this time to Hearts, taken quickly by Hamill to Shields. Liddell coming towards the near post. But that's straight through to Stewart. Ian Redford for Rangers. Pushing from behind by Liddell and McAdam. The free kick to Rangers. Johnston has lots of space in the Rangers left. Beautifully picked out by McLean. McAdam's at the far post. And a marvellous save from Don Brough. Well, it's not the biggest crowd Rangers have seen this season, but how they enjoyed that. Tom McLean's free kick, picking out Willie Johnston. Johnston attacking Denny to the byline. The cross towards McAdam. Look how high he jumped for that one. And the save from Brough. Really special. Cooper. Working it inside to Jordan. Good challenge by O'Brien. McAdam to Russell. Bett's gone through the middle. And he puts Rangers ahead. 19 minutes on the clock. Rangers go in front. And that certainly was a dreadful mistake in the Hearts defence. The ball pitched in from the right towards Jim Bett. He tried to take it, and the full volley, the hook shot, it should certainly have been cleared up by the Hearts defence. Brought back to Bett, one of the easiest of tasks in knocking in his 5th goal of the season. Sandy job. Denny to O'Brien. A difficult ball in a tight position. Redford holding off Little. And that's spotted by the referee. No, in fact, the free kick goes the other way. Frank Little penalised. Certainly looked to me as though Redford was leaning hard on Little, but perhaps there was something just before that which the referee spotted. Johnston's free kick. Stevens at the far post. That's a good header. And a fine chance for Colin McAdam. Well, even at that, the complete miss kick almost deceived John Brough enough to find its way into the net. Stevens, Redford, playing really as principal striker so far for Rangers, right through the middle. Although he's been joined in the last 5 minutes or so by McAdam, who started off playing a little bit deeper with Cooper. Lost one good position. McAdam is there. Well, the big Rangers centre forward found the space in the box. And by that shake of the head, you know he should have scored.